What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at the best SBCs and seeing if any of them are worth it for you. Starting off, we are going to look at the icons. So we have got a lot that have gone now. The winter wildcards have all gone, and we are now on almost that refresh again. When we look at the kind of SBC list, you see obviously the future stars still got a good 6 weeks, but even now we've got 6 days on Ashley Cole, 9 on Henry, 10 Zico, 11 we got 12 and also 16. What you find with these icons this year, and it's happened I think about 3 times now, once they start to go, you just get flooded with a lot more. Jarzinho's already been leaked to come probably either today, tomorrow, I can imagine. He might be on the weekend, but he's due to come as his Centurions. Then obviously we're going to get Foot Birthday, I believe, after the Showdown Series week, which is a bit weak anyway. But I can imagine that will come alongside some of the icons as well. So are any of these actually worth doing? So in terms of what we're looking at, if we go for the bases first, we've obviously got ourselves the Ashley Cole. He's coming in at a whopping 600,000. We have Henry still at 830. We have Zico at 1.2 and Carfu at 550. Now, depending on how your team looks, it's always a draw. And to be honest, I can't go and say your team's going to be incredible, so all of these are not going to be worth it. Like I can't say all of your team is literally 85s and below, because otherwise, yes, all of these are going to be worth it. The only one I'd say at the moment that is totally worth it because of positional base is Carfu. Carfu, because there is very little right backs out there unless you've got yourself a Frimpong team of the year, Thunderstruck, you've managed to do an Alex Scott or something along them lines. He's going to be the best card that you can physically get, a lot easier than the rest. Like I said, he is obviously 550k, so it's not necessarily too expensive. When it comes to Ashley Cole, I'm not a personal fan. I think he's nothing else to do. I would still say Henry and Zico are good value, even though we have got a lot of SBCs that do challenge them in some aspects. 5-star Zico is always gonna be on that top list. And Henry, if you've not got a striker, is going to be one of the better strikers you can get. We then have a few more in obviously Best and Sour. Now, Best, I've kind of been struggling with a little bit because I do like him as a card. I think he's a very, very decent one. Now Jarzinho's coming, that's going to put it into an argument for me. I would probably go towards Don't Complete now. I've used him since he came out. We did him and he's alright. He may not be the number 1 in my list, but he is only alright. So I would say at 1.7 mil, hold your value right now. Sour, definitely a good value. I think she's a phenomenal centre mid. Another position that is very difficult to fill in the sense of a top end. Like, you're not looking at, fair enough, you're not looking at like a Hullet or Vieira or Yaya Toure Ramirez. They are absolute top of the top, but as close as you can get, if you had a Sour and a Zico in the middle, a Sour and a Zidane, a Sour and a Matthias, that's going to be a very good pairing nonetheless. We then have future stars, which are still there. We obviously have quite a few of the cheaper variety, which I do like that they're including here. It's not all top with icons, and I must admit, other than probably Baggio, I think all of them are worth every penny. So in terms of the 3 that I do like, I think Rijkaard is a must complete, mainly on that 250. Great CDM. He offers a decent amount going forward and also at the back. And I think for the price, a very, very good icon. Shevchenko, I'd go as good value. Again, very much like Henry. He may not be at that absolute top level, but he's definitely one for 320k to not miss out on. Cannavaro's a bit funnier because I do like the card. I've still got the gripes with the acrobatic. I do like him as a centre-back, but I think in terms of his actual upgrade, it could have been better. And people can argue all they want. In terms of defensive ability, absolutely fine. He's a brilliant defender. But in terms of them playstyle pluses, they could have been better. I like the aerial he's got, but when it comes to that acrobatic, I'm not a big fan. And I will stand on that hill. When it comes to Baggio, I don't see the need in him, to be honest. He's a little bit more expensive than the rest at 560. He's got decent stats, ping pass and technical. Love the ping pass on any cam at the moment, but in terms of that price, I can't. I don't think he's personally worth it, in my opinion. Then we obviously have the players. So these are all now players that either can go up because they're fantasy foot, which I like that they've given us a good variety. So as we see, we've got them all here. We still have one future star left in Undogi. I really like him. I think he's an absolute must. For what the price is of him, he is an absolute must. We could have had an evolution for him as well. I believe that one has gone. So you could have spent about 150 from absolute min price and get him up to a 90 with that evolution as well. Regardless, his 88 form for 50,000 coins. It's an easy one to get done.
If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders.
We do have player of the months that are going as well. So we have had the Serie A player of the month. The next one's going to be Dybala. I don't think we've had the Bundesliga yet. I know Harry Kane's in that voting, but we have had the Premier League, which is going to be good old Rasmus. So I am definitely going to be doing that one. When it comes to the rest, we obviously have them three. We also then have De Jong, who is brand new. We have Terrier, who's kind of brand new, and the big boy Lauan himself. So Lauan's at 160, De Jong's at 40, which is good. We have Terrier at 80, and then we have 50 for Undav, 50 for Vlahovic, and then finally 280 for Jota. Now, in terms of Jota, because he's the most expensive, I would straight out say he is not worth doing if he didn't have that rapid plus. They reeled you back in because you've obviously got the 88 of him. If you did the objective to start with, so obviously his FC Pro Live was a big mishap. He didn't have a team. They had to think of something on the spot. They then gave us another objective that let us keep the 86, get an 87, but then also get an 88. But that one doesn't have a Playstyle Plus of Rapid. So that is where this card definitely comes in. And I'm pretty sure he does actually have an ability for an evolution as well that is better than this 89. I can't remember if it's the 86 or one of them can go up basically to a 90. Oh no, it's Wing Wizard is an 89. I read somewhere on one of them that he could have gone up, but by the looks of it, he can't at the moment. But in terms of this card, regardless, I'm going to have to go with nothing else to do because of that Rapid Plus. I think that is a brilliant playstyle for him. But for me, it isn't enough to go and say, yes, I'm going to spend 260 on him. Then obviously we have the rest. I think De Jong, an easy one for the value. Same as Undav, same as Vlahovic. In terms of fodder rating, that is really not that bad, and always a good thing to look at whenever you're looking at the player of the months, because they tend to be just random players sometimes. They're not always destined to be the high one, is to see what the cheapest rated players coming in at. So you think about 50,000 coins, 40 for De Jong is cracking value. When you're looking at the lowest at 20,000, you think of untradeable fodder. So when you look at the SBC, so for instance, say we go into De Jong because they're always the cheapest normally, you think of the value of this, you're looking at an 83 rated team with 1 in form. So I don't have to give up any 84s, 5s, 6 or 7s, and I can go get myself an 88. We have an abundance of 83s. Yes, the team of the week more than likely is going to be a higher rated, but that is going to be phenomenal value. And it's the same for the rest. If you grind them untradeable, they can become a great asset for an untradeable fodder card. I'm not saying all of them will be it, but most of them will be at that value. There's no way that Undav, Vlahovic, De Jong gets into pretty much most teams because of the fact that they have taken away icon swaps. So we don't need an Eredivisie, a Dutch team, a German, a Bundesliga. It is the best of the best and nothing else. So he's not going to replace an Henry or a Shevchenko in any shadow of an imagination. When it comes to Terrier, I think more good value is coming to mind rather than anything. And Lauan on the other end, 92 rated, which is a very high rated for himself. He's an 87 and an 85. We have got the power header on him. He obviously does have a better version at 296, but to be honest, there's not really that much of a difference. We've still got the exact same playstyle plus. He's a 4-star like him as well. So you could argue that value is not bad whatsoever for him. So I'm going to chuck him in here. We then also have another Pundit pick. Now, I think these are sometimes so underwhelming when you are looking at a Jared Bowen at 130,000 coins. A 4-4, so it's a double upgrade from his 86. He's added the playstyle plus of technical, fair enough. You've obviously got a weak foot upgrade, But really, 130k for him. He is a 50 to 60k absolute maximum. And I think it's where they're going really wrong with these pundit picks. They're just throwing out like they're nothing. We saw Axel last time, 100k. It's a decent centre-back. We saw, there was a couple of others that just, in terms of the value of what you're getting, like Gordon, I think he was like 100k for like an 85. There is no need for that. I could literally go out and pay for a lot better at a lot cheaper of the price. And if we flip to more of an expensive SBC that has come out, we have got our man Ginola. Now this is kind of that other tempting one. He's coming in at 8 weeks to go, but he's got a lot of SBCs. He's got 290 rated SBCs to go, but he is still there until the 1st of June. 1st of May. He's there till the 1st of May, which could be around team of the season, which makes him a lot more interesting because if he's there for the start of team of the season, you could get him done pretty well. Whether there's going to be more heroes at that point, I don't know if they're ever going to do team of the season heroes, team of the season icons. I know foot birthday icons are coming, whether we see foot birthday heroes as well, that hasn't been leaked at this moment in time, but whether he's going to get another one anytime soon is going to beg the question. I can imagine they'll end up giving him another one around the 1st of May because that is normally what they do. But in terms of the value of him, he's a phenomenal card. He's under the value of what the actual card is on the market at the moment. I would say he is an absolute must complete if you are looking for an absolute top end. I will be trying to do him because he is absolute number one. Or you could try and go in your luck with the hero player picks, making sure you spend that 2.8 mil that you'd use on him and doing every single hero pick to try and get him. I'm not saying that you will, but that's another way of looking at it rather than signaling out one card, because I guarantee once you've finished him, the next hero pick you do, he is going to arrive. Then we have the fantasies. Now this is always up for debate because all of them can upgrade and some of them can't. Straight off the bat, Herrera can get in the bin because they absolutely finessed this system. Rolfo was kind of there, but she is back in trade. Well, she was back in training a few months ago. She is now managing to start a match. So that is going to be an interesting one. She has been leaked that she will be back in the team, whereas Herrera is out for the season. So why on earth give us a card that A, needs to play, needs to score, and actually make the 3 appearances? You can get the double upgrade on him, fair enough. One of them being incredibly difficult to get 11 goals. The other one is obviously winning 2. I feel like you could get that. And I get he's not necessarily like hundreds of thousands, but he's also 140,000 coins. Absolutely go away. When it comes to the hero side of stuff, we obviously have 4 versions of them. We obviously have Ricardo Calvoya at 730. We have Smolarek at 360. We have Gully at 86. And we have Alex Scott at 270. Now, Gully straight off the bat is 100% worth every price. I think a 90 rated hero is always worth 80k. At the minimum, you are getting good value back from that, especially if you are using as much untradeable fodder. Alex Scott, dependent on your right back scenario, I would definitely take Carfu over her, so I'm going to go good value for her at this moment in time. Once obviously Carfu, well actually Alex Scott will go before Carfu, so I suppose for me, if you've already done Carfu, then she's unfortunately going to be the one under, but I don't think she's bad value whatsoever. Ricardo Calvoya, he's a hard one because he's very, very expensive. He's coming in at 730. It's definitely not cheap. And it all relies on Chelsea's form. So obviously with the heroes, you've obviously got the 2 wins and you've got the 11 goals. I don't see Chelsea scoring 11 goals. I could see them getting the 2 wins. That is something that you could see. So he could be 91 at an absolute maximum, I think. I don't think he's going to that 92. I would say, basing off that, I would go good value. Otherwise, if he was to stay at 90, I think he's more nothing else to do. But unfortunately, we probably 9 days. He might be able to get the 2 games in by then, to be honest. I don't know if there's any cups in between, but he could potentially get to the 91 before this SBC expires. And it's what I'd say if you've not finished any of them as of yet. Like, for instance, Timo Werner's got 32 hours left. We've now seen him get that 90 rated. I think he's absolutely worth it. He's a very, very good card. Like Rolfo, even though there was still the question of obviously her playing, look at the stats for number 1. They are going to get the 2 wins. There's a likely chance that the Barca women do get the 11 goals. If she then comes on and gets a clean sheet, I think there was a stat like they've conceded 4 in their last 6 matches or something like that. That means she more than likely will get that clean sheet at a minimum. And the only one that's in question is she going to play 3 matches at the minimum? That hopefully will happen, meaning she could be the best centre mid left back that you could ever get. We obviously have Smolarek. I think he's great value. He's very much like Shevchenko. He may not be the world beater, but he's definitely worth a look at the minimum. We then follow up with the final 3 fantasies. We obviously have the centre-back at the left wing. We have Todibo and also Tielemans. So in terms of the centre-back, I think he is absolutely worth every penny. Anticipate slide tackle plus. For 100k, you can always get in that must complete. I think he is worth every penny. Absolutely. Then obviously we have got, who's the next one? We've got the left wing, the German left wing. I'm pretty sure he's coming in quite cheap as well. 100,000 coins for an 88. We're looking at technical plus, 5-star, 4-star. Chance of the upgrades possible, but not necessarily going to be there. I'd probably go towards more the good value more than anything. Todibo, I would say the same. I think he's a good centre-back, but I'm pretty sure he was about 200. With all of the centre-backs that we've had, I feel like he's definitely going to be okay, but he's not necessarily a must complete. And then obviously Tielemans, I would have said he was going to be absolutely insane value and a must complete, but I must admit Villa's fixtures in the next 4 are not necessarily the easiest. I'm pretty sure they've got Wolves, Spurs, West Ham and Man City. He's going to get the 3 appearances if he doesn't get injured. He could get the goal or the assist. That is all down to a midfielder, very difficult to go with. Whether they win 2, it's going to be a very big battle. I really hope that they beat Spurs, as that's going to be the needed factor, really, to actually get up there. And obviously, everybody's going to be wanting Werner to go up as well. So I'd say he's more towards in okay value. I probably should split these into good and okay value as well, but I'd say he's okay if he gets the upgrades. If he doesn't, then I wouldn't really complete him. So that is going to be the list for today. Let me know down below how you get on, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.